Kim Jong-un is married. The secretive state has released very little information about the romance, and it won't confirm or deny that the woman seen publicly with Kim is a former pop singer.
Kim Jong-un is one of the most photographed men on earth. Every parade, every missile launch, every haircut, analyzed frame by frame. But the woman he married keeps doing something no one can explain. She disappears, not for a weekend, for 9 months, then a year, then, at one point, for a year and a half. No statement, no explanation, and then she reappears, smiling a few steps behind him, as if nothing happened at all. Here's why the world's intelligence agencies actually care. This woman is raising the child who may one day inherit nuclear weapons. His sister, Kim Yo Jong, holds a propaganda machine, but his wife holds a future. And when she vanishes, analysts in Seoul, Tokyo, and Washington start asking the same 3 questions. Is she pregnant with another heir? Is she sick? Or has she fallen? Because in North Korea, disappearing is never neutral. People who vanish from photographs never tend to vanish from history. And yet this woman keeps coming back, which might make her the most secure person in the entire regime, or the most controlled. And when you line up her disappearances against everything else happening inside North Korea, a pattern appears. Her absences map the regime's most sensitive secrets. To read that map, you need to know who she really is. And that story starts in the last place you'd ever expect to find a North Korean First Lady: enemy territory. September 2005, Incheon, South Korea. A squad of young North Korean women, handpicked, drilled, ideologically vetted, arrives to cheer for their athletes. The South Korean press calls them the Army of Beauties. In the crowd shots, there's a girl the cameras barely notice. Years later, South Korean journalists will freeze that footage, enhance it, and realize who they were looking at: the future wife of North Korea's dictator, standing on southern soil, waving a unification flag. Let that sink in. The woman who would become the regime's untouchable first lady has seen the other side. She has walked through a country her husband's propaganda calls a wasteland, and she knows it's a lie. So who is she? Here the regime has done something remarkable. It has erased her. Officially, Ri Sol-ju has no biography, no confirmed birthday. Estimates range from 1985 to 1989. What we have comes from South Korean intelligence: a father in the military or academia, a mother running a hospital, elite, but not royalty, a girl trained as a singer, reportedly polished with studies abroad, who performed with the Unhasu Orchestra, the regime's most prestigious ensemble. And here's a first dark detail. In 2013, that same orchestra was hit by a purge. Members arrested, some reportedly executed. The rumors, and they are rumors, from defector networks and Seoul tabloids, say part of the reason was to scrub embarrassing traces of the First Lady's past from circulation. People who had simply known her became a liability. In most countries, a First Lady gets a Wikipedia page. In North Korea, she gets a deleted history, and the people who remember it get deleted too. To understand why she was chosen, go back to 2008 to a stroke. Kim Jong-il collapses, the dear leader, mortal after all, and the regime confronts its oldest fear: succession. His youngest son, still in his 20s, unmarried, unknown even to his own people, must be turned into a dynasty, fast. According to South Korean intelligence, Kim Jong-il personally ordered the search for a bride. The singer from the Unhasu Orchestra passed every test. There was no royal wedding, no announcement. As far as the world knew, no wife existed. Then, in the summer of 2012, months after Kim Jong-un inherited power, state television did something that stunned Pyongyang watchers. It showed the young leader at an amusement park opening with a woman at his side. Short hair, Western-cut dress, no name, no title. For weeks, the world's Korea analysts played a bizarre guessing game. His sister, a pop singer. Finally, state media ended it with one sentence: the leader had attended an event together with his wife, Comrade Ri Sol-ju. One sentence and a revolution in imagery. His father had ruled surrounded by generals. Wives were hidden like state secrets, some never shown at all. Kim Jong-un put a fashionable young woman on camera. On purpose, analysts spotted what appeared to be a Dior handbag. Retail price, roughly a North Korean worker's yearly wage. Any country under sanctions, where that bag itself would be contraband. That was the message, and it was aimed in two directions at once. To the world, we are modern, approachable, almost normal. To the elite at home, the Kim family is not a dying dynasty with a boy king. It is young, glamorous, and permanent. She wasn't just a wife, she was a regime's new user interface. For a few extraordinary months in 2018, the world got to see exactly what she was built for. That year, North Korea, fresh off nuclear tests and missile launches, pivoted to diplomacy. And suddenly, Ri Sol-ju was everywhere. In Beijing, dining with Xi Jinping and China's own First Lady, Peng Liyuan. One former singer married to power, smiling at another. At the Inter-Korean Summit, charming the South Korean president at dinner, cameras catching every gesture. The foreign press reached for a comparison and landed on royalty. North Korea's Kate Middleton, elegant, warm, disarming, exactly as designed. State media upgraded her title from comrade to something North Korea hadn't used in decades, respected First Lady. The last woman to carry that rank belonged to the era of Kim Il-sung, the dynasty's founding god king. This wasn't a courtesy. In a regime where every syllable of a title is calibrated, it was a promotion, announced to the whole country. But never mistake the soft face for a soft role. February 2023, a banquet celebrating North Korea's missile forces. Ri Sol-ju arrives in pearls, and photographers zoom in. Hanging from her neck isn't a heart or a diamond. It's a silver miniature of a Hwasong-17, a massive nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missile, the same type her husband had just test-fired. A first lady wearing a nuclear weapon as jewelry at a party for men who build them. That one image is a whole institution of Ri Sol-ju glamour welded directly onto the warhead. The Dior bags and the ICBM pendant aren't contradictions. They're the same sentence. We have money, we have taste, we have the bomb, and we are not going anywhere. And then, having perfected that role, she started to vanish. Line up her public appearances year by year, and the picture gets strange. In 2020, she disappears for roughly 9 months. Through a pandemic, borders sealed, rumors swirling, illness, pregnancy, quarantine, Seoul's intelligence service eventually offers a mundane theory. She's avoiding COVID and caring for her children. Maybe. Then she's back at a concert, smiling. Then it happens again. After appearing at a New Year's celebration, she drops out of sight, this time for about 18 months. A year and a half in which her husband conducts weapons tests, purges diplomacy, alone, or with 2 other women beside him, his sister and his daughter. When Ri finally resurfaces, cameras catch her clapping from a distance. Each absence spawns the same 3 theories, and each theory tells you something about how this regime actually works. Theory 1. She's believed to have 3 children, and only one, Kim Ju-ai, has never been shown. Heirs are strategic assets. Their production is a state secret. If she vanishes to bear or raise hidden children, her absences are literally the dynasty's future being manufactured off camera. Theory 2. Illness or protection. North Korea hides weakness reflexively. A sick first lady is a sick regime. And after Ju-ai's debut, the family security calculus changed. The more the world watches the heir, the deeper the mother goes. Theory 3. The dark one. Eclipse. In Pyongyang, proximity to the leader is power, and the photographs are the org chart. Every month she's absent, the frame fills with Kim Yo Jong and Kim Ju-ai instead. Some analysts read the sequence bluntly. The wife's stock falls as the daughter's rises. Here's a detail that argues against the dark theory though, and it matters. Every time she returns, state media still calls her respected First Lady. and a system that erases a fallen from photographs. She keeps her title, her wardrobe, her place a step behind him. Whatever her absences mean, they are not exile. Which leaves the most interesting possibility of all. The disappearing act isn't happening to her. It's a job itself. Because in November 2022, the meaning of Ri Sol-ju changed overnight. That month, King Jong-un walked to a Hwasong-17 intercontinental missile holding the hand of a little girl in a white coat. The world met King Ju-ai, the daughter the regime had never acknowledged. Fast forward to early 2026, and South Korean intelligence has officially raised the stakes. They report that Ju-ai has fully completed her successor training and is officially in the succession nomination stage. She is no longer just a possibility, she is being set up as the next ruler of North Korea. And who decides what the child becomes? Who raises her, shapes her, controls her world? Not the generals, not the party, her mother. This is a hidden influence nobody can measure, and no one in Pyongyang can rival. King Yo Jong holds an office. Offices can be taken away. Ri Sol-ju holds something the regime cannot confiscate. She is the mother of the succession. Every future Kim now passes through her hands first, and a dynasty, the nursery, is a branch of government. Look at the family portrait the regime is painting now. The leader, the elegant wife, the beloved daughter reviewing missiles together. That image is doing hard political work. It says the dynasty has a fourth generation, that the Pike 2 bloodline continues, that betting against the Kims means betting against a family that plans in centuries. But look closely at what happened in June 2026, when Chinese President Xi Jinping visited Pyongyang. The teenage successor, King Ju-ai, was suddenly nowhere to be seen. Instead, it was Ri Sol-ju who stepped back into the spotlight, walking side by side with China's First Lady, Peng Liyuan. It was a masterclass in dynastic bait and switch. When North Korea needs to show its terrifying nuclear-armed future, the daughter is paraded past ICBMs. But when they need to play high-level diplomacy with China, a superpower that deeply disapproves of chaotic family inheritances, the daughter goes into hiding, and the elegant, modern First Lady returns. The woman who once cheered in Incheon, whose past was erased, who wears warheads as jewelry, she built that picture. Quietly, from behind, between disappearances. So return to the question from the beginning. What do her vanishing acts actually map? Follow the timeline, and the answer is uncomfortable. She disappears when the regime is hiding something precious. An unborn heir, a health scare, a security threat, a succession being arranged off camera. Her absences aren't gaps in the story. They are the story, the shadow cast by whatever North Korea is protecting most. The loudest thing in North Korea isn't the missile tests, it's the silence around one woman. One more thing, step back and you realize Kim Jong-un has arranged his entire inner world around 3 women. A sister who runs his propaganda and threatens his enemies, a daughter being groomed beside ballistic missiles, and a wife who holds the one power no one else can touch, the future itself. We've already opened the file on the sister, the woman some call North Korea's real leader. If you haven't seen it, that's where this story truly begins. So tell me in the comments, when Ri Sol-ju disappears, is she hiding, being hidden, or building the next generation of the dynasty in secret? And subscribe, because on Ghost Reality, we find the people who really hold power, the ones you're not supposed to see.